I really don't want these going for another 70 minutes.
A guy, Bobby Lewis, one of my fucking best friends in the army, goddamn. Oh my god, this is perfect. This is a tweet. Before he leaves office, President Trump must at least for one day identify as a thereby forcing the left to either admit the absurdity of transgender ideology or to acknowledge Donald Trump as the first woman president. Now, don't get me wrong, I am always for transgender ideology because I do believe that there is such thing as, you know, gender dysphoria. That being said, that would be fucking troll level of unbelievable levels, and I think that's fucking hilarious.
Well, nobody takes them seriously anyway, so why not?
No one takes anything seriously in American politics anymore.
And yet people still get fucked over.
If you're not getting fucked by the U.S. government, then the U.S. government, you're either one of those guys that live out in the wilderness and cook your own food and fucking hunt your own food and shit. That is the only feasible way to not be affected by the U.S. government in this world, in some form or another. Am I wrong?
No, I'd say you're about right.
I mean, Canadian citizens get affected by American politics.
It's true.
One opponent remains. Neither team.
And while I am a very strong proponent of the United States returning to returning to an isolationist policy, in this day and age, it's not possible unless, you know, the world is willing to take the economic hit.
The whole global village kind of ideology. You just, oh, that was a crispy snipe. You can't. You can't do that. It's. We're too interconnected.
I'd love to.
Now.
Don't get me. Yeah, I'd love to. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not possible anymore.
No, it's not.
And it's kind of disappointing.
Yeah. It is a bit odd that the
United States was founded on the idea of no matter how much we hate each other, no matter how much the world despises America, you can't get rid of us. And that's not because we don't want to be out, it's because there's no other way to be a nation in this world.
Unless you go the North Korea route and just completely shut yourself off.
But even then, that's not possible because North Korea still actually has to, they still trade. Jewish communism, yes. Jewish communism is, you know, dependent on basically self-production. Everything that is made in the country is used by the country, nothing else. But the thing is, because North Korea is North Korea, there's no way for them to actually handle it. The roles were reversed in that situation, and South Korea was the Jewish communist state, and North Korea was not. South Korea would still be, I think, the powerhouse that it is, because North Korea consists largely of a mountainous, snowy region that is nearly impossible to grow anything useful, except in the low countries. And even then, it's not at an industrial scale because it's not physically possible with the way that things are in the north. But in most of it is hills and flatlands, where even now, the South Koreans actually consist off of subsistence farming, where, you know, any spare plot of land is used to grow food. I mean, when I was there was no lawn of any kind. Every spare ounce of ground was covered in some form of food-making plant.
Well, I mean, to be honest, lawns really don't serve a purpose anyway, so I don't really see a problem with that.
Yeah, they're an aesthetic purpose that is just, you know, the United States kind of recognizes as its real. We want this and nothing else, and a pool, but that's kind of pointless.
the pool. I want the pool. I have the pool at my house, so I'm good with that.
When I get out of the military and I'm like able to do a pool of my own, I will dig my own pool, but
5 lives
until
left.
then, I am relegating myself to a simple barren lawn.
Should grow food. Make a profit.
Can't. In the United States, you are not allowed to actually grow food on your front lawn.
1 minute left. The enemy is
Who made
out
that
of
law?
second chances. 3 lives
That's
left.
been the law for some years now,
One
actually.
opponent remains.
I'm not necessarily sure who, but it was post-World War II when the United States became more obsessed with aesthetic rather than purpose.
Obliterated the enemy.
'Cause in the Second World War, we always grew victory gardens and shit. But
You
after
have
that
the last
happened,
one.
when the United States no longer needed to worry about, you know, rationing food and shit.
They realized they were losing money off of it.
Yeah. Because it was forcing people to be self-reliant, and they were becoming very self-reliant with minimal modifications or minimal really effects from the US government, so that was made illegal. Which is also very retarded, by the way. I believe that the purpose of the government should not to hinder upon the livelihoods of its citizenry, nor force people to become reliant upon it for every little thing. But that being said, you know, the purpose of the government should be to serve the people, to allow themselves to become self-reliant in sorts.
But that's not profitable for anyone.
No lives left on either
Nope.
side. I'm on the
Which is also why I think that when it comes to the government, politicians should not be allowed to
enemy left.
take money from lobbyists. It should not be allowed to... Oh, what are those? Those look pretty, but... Should not be basically allowed to take money from third parties that...
Oh my god! Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just went flawless in this comp match? Excuse me?
Save the clip and send it. Save the clip!